in the initial oil change, I'm missing a few steps that you didn't see because I got frustrated. Okay, so I got kind of ahead of myself because I was getting frustrated with getting the working on the clutch, so I didn't film the cleaning procedure. And so I'm going to kind of go over what I did and kind of what this looks like when you tear it apart here. This is a good pack that I got that Jamie had sitting with this bike, and I'm assuming it's a good pack. I don't know if he would have wrote that on there, so we're going to pretend that it's good. And after you take the snap ring off here, this pops right out, and this just has, you know, your little bearing in there, and your little spindle. And then in here you have these 3 little screws, and they're huge pains in the ass because they're really, really tight. And the clutch that's on there, they were really over tight, and because I think this is only supposed to be like 8 inch-pounds or something like that. So according to the manual, the shop manual, and so that's a really, you know, small increment to try to torque down properly each time. But you know, you're compressing those springs a bit as you're tightening, so you want to just kind of do it in a way that you know, tighten kind of all the way around. But they get really tight for some reason, and then they strip like crazy. So and then you're just kind of effed. But what happened was, I'll show you. Okay, you remove those, this comes out, right? But this was one of those little, they have the little ball end to it, and what I did was I snapped that ball into the screw, and everything went to hell. And then you can't drill it out, and it's this huge pain in the ass. Anyway, that's why I got frustrated. Springs. Get a paper towel. When in doubt, paper towel it out, you know what I'm saying? And then, yeah, so this one I'm kind of just holding out on until I see if it is a good pack or not. But so what happened was, I took the clutch apart on the other one here, and these plates on the other one were starting to blue a little bit, but I used them as a like, let's try to get this oil off there, and then we can you know, apply that to the rest of the engine. Because that clutch that's on there now, even some of these dots are a little worn off. You know, these still look, you know, pretty good, but you can tell that one's been slipping for a bit. So what I did was, wait, what's that? Another white hair? Yeah, look at that. I don't know if you can see that. A little bit of rider right there. We're gonna keep that. I like that. So what I did was, I used acetone, I used mineral spirits, I used degreaser from O'Reilly's, and I hit it with a bunch of stuff. And this, I mean, it just felt like it was Teflon coated. Like, this feels oil coated, but the other ones, they felt like they were Teflon coated. Again, I have no idea what he put in there, but it's something. It sure is something. If you're looking to actually reduce friction for some reason, whatever the hell's in there is going to do it. Reminds me of the shit that they sprayed on the sled in Vacation, National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation. But anyway, so what I ended up doing was using, let me get the thing. I used basically the same thing that I do for decoking. I used some Easy Off, and I soaked the plates, and then hit them with the nylon brush, and that got it off. But that was the only thing that I could cut this with. Like I said, it didn't feel oiled. It felt like it was Teflon, and I just kept, hitting it with the degreasers and hitting it with the acetone and hitting it with everything I could, and it just would not cut it. It's crazy. So Easy Off, nylon brush was the only thing I could do to get it, because I even used my magic sauce, and which is a concoction I made. I think I talked about it before. It's not a secret solution or anything. It's I fill it full of dish soap to about right here-ish. Fill the rest full of water, about here-ish, and then the rest of it I use alcohol and just kind of gently mix it. And that'll strip, that's what I used to degrease the Puch when the oil flew everywhere, and the Excelsior when the pipe came off and got oil everywhere. That's what I used, and it'll cut through anything. This is really good stuff, but not even this. And I even soaked it in there a little bit, for an hour or so, would not take it off. Easy Off, nylon brush. That was all that I could. And then I did it to these too, because I was like, well, fuck it, it's already screwed. Let's get weird. And I did it to this plate as well, to these plates. And that's, so we're riding around the garage, or riding around the yard. So I'm gonna go give it some mustard here in a minute, and we'll see if we can't get that clutch to slip. But yeah, let's put this thing back together, and let's go take that other one for a ride. In case you're curious, when I broke the ball end down in there, look at, see, there's another rider here. That's awesome. I'm gonna leave that in there for good luck. When I broke the little ball off in there, I couldn't get it out to save my life. So I had to drill it out, right? And the process of drilling it out, I didn't have a drill bit. I even went and got like a cobalt carbide nightmare bit, and that wouldn't work. So what I ended up doing was I had the some bits for a Dremel tool, and it was like a little cone-shaped grinding cone situation, and I put that in the drill press and kind of just like ground the top away until until we got through the whole top there. Dinged up the cup just a little, but not too bad. So, but yeah, so I was upset. Annoyed me to death, enough to piss off a duck. That's something my grandma used to always say. She used to always go, that's enough to piss off a duck. And when I'd ask her what that means, she would say, have you ever seen a pissed off duck? And I'm sure it made sense back then, but since then I have seen a mad duck. So maybe, I don't know, I'll have to update that. Something that's usually genuinely not pissy, we're gonna have to. But you just kind of keep tightening it like this, and just till it's tight, and just kind of keep going around, and they'll get to a point where they're all the same, tightness. And it's not real tight, like I said, like 8 inch-pounds. I don't even have something that goes that small, so I just kind of give it a, give it a when you're younger and you get impatient, your whole, everything just gets worse. This is one of those things where, you get older and you just kind of get the patience to do quarter turns at a time, and then your life is just so much easier. Gotta learn those patience. There we go. That should be it. Not moving much. We'll call that good right there. Cool. So yeah, that was the cleaning procedure. This stuff's wild. I don't know. I just yeah. Cool. Let's go for a ride. Let's get this thing slipping. Oh God. Now listen. I know I always over-exaggerate the heat, okay? It's never really 1,000 degrees, and I know you know that. But I'm not joking when I say it's actually 100 degrees right now. And I'm just hot, so I'm not gonna dress up for this one, like I ever do anyway, but by that I mean I'm not putting on shorts that are presentable. So we're gonna do this the weird way, Crocs and all. And I really want to take the new bike out for a ride. We gotta see if this clutch slips. So we just got plates on it, just got an insurance on it, and maybe it'll slip within the first few miles. Maybe it'll never slip again. I don't know. But we're going to do a check over first, because this hasn't been on the road since 2017-ish. Not like really on the road. So the tires are old, but they're in good shape. So I'm going to roll the dice with the tires right now. I'm not going to go far or fast, but let's tighten it with all the bolts. I'm going to take the seat off. Let's make sure all the connections are done under there. This thing's been in the shop for so long and been, played with. I just don't know, everything's there. So let's make sure everything's tight. Let's make sure everything's good. And let's take it for a ride when it gets a little cooler. It'll never get cold. Let's get it into the 70s tonight. And then we'll take it for a ye old ride. Okay. I feel like I can do it now. It's starting to cool off. There's a breeze. And yeah, let's get it tightened. Let's tighten this bitch up. Okay, first thing and second. I want to take off the seat here and just make sure everything's good under there. Make sure all the connections connected. I went through it and made, the lights worked and everything, but you never know. Might see something weird under there that I wasn't really looking for before. And the weird noise I was hearing was the gauge cluster here. And there's no rubbers around, it doesn't quite seal quite right. But as you can see, it wiggles. So I haven't decided if I want to take this off yet or not, because I have a feeling it's maybe a little broken back there. So I haven't decided what to do there yet. It's not really impeding anything, so I'm not really worried about it. But yeah, let's make sure all, anything that's safety related, make sure all that's, tight where it needs to be, and yeah, let's check it out. Yeah, I'm just looking for maybe some frayed wires, or I didn't really give everything like a super good, make sure these caps are on and it's connected the way it's supposed to be. The fuses are good. shock is set at 4. We might bump that up 1. No, later. Not right now. I don't feel like doing it right now. That's in there. It's good. Yeah, everything looks good. Up, see? I can see it from here. One thing that happened to me, that oil hose coming off, right? Right at the base of the case there, and this has the fix on it as well. I mean, by fix I mean a hose clamp, but this one has the hose clamp on there too. So I wonder if this guy got oily one day like I did. I've been testing it to see if it was loose, and it seems fine. So, but it's a regular. It looks like it's a regular hose clamp. So it's probably messing up that hose a bit, probably cutting into it a bit. I like those ones you get from McMaster Car, you know. So someday I may replace that. We'll see. I've got I bought a bucket of them. So, yeah, the rubber mount for the fuel tank looks good. This has the little chrome covers on there, so I should probably take that off and look at those one day, because you never know, you know. You don't want that tank to come. I'll do it another day. That's fine. Safety first. Let's just do the safety. Make sure the front's tight. Again, I don't remember where he left off. None of the lights are doing their wrigglings. Yeah. I did check the brakes, riding around, but check the fluid while we're at it. I mean, one of the things I learned living out here is you can literally tell the temperature by how far away you are from the ocean. Pretty funny. One of the things I keep forgetting about this in particular is I keep forgetting. Sorry. I don't know why Michael McDonald just popped into my head. Yeah, this stuff up here, metric. So luckily, working on as much German shit as I do, we got metric. And correct me if I'm wrong, please. But I was told that I think these whole assemblies here were made by someone the Triumph knew, or something like that. Everything was metric. The fluid's really clear on this. That's good. The right color it's supposed to be. That's good. It's I know Jamie flushed it a bunch, because he was constantly pulling them on and off. So, okay. Everything's got fluids, and they were working. Let's see. And the belt, it seems to be fine. I'm going to take a 3/4 inch wrench with me. Thanks for reminding me. Just in case it pops around on me. Let's make sure that's tight. And it's tight. Okay, let's take a closer look at a few things. So the tires here, they're Dunlop something or others, made in the US, Elite 4s. They still got the nubs on them. I do, I feel bad for this guy. I really good bike. You can tell he cared a lot about it. And I don't see anything that would indicate that they're weather checked and they're holding air. So we'll just go slow. And we'll, I mean, by go slow, I mean the speed limit. Yeah, see, they look fine. Don't have any cracks or anything. And nothing's loose. Rattling. Oh, see, look at heat shields are loose. Perfect. See, this is why we got to do this. Not that it would particularly, impact. There we go, look at that, nice and tight. Actually, this one's good too. Not like it's gonna run worse, it just... Oxygen sensor is plugged in. Not routed correctly. Remind me to reroute that oxygen sensor. I think it was removed hastily with plans to reattach it later. So fuel injector wires look good. No cracking, nothing falling off of them yet. It didn't have the belt guard on here, either one of them, so I gotta find a set of those. Paint them black, I guess. They don't have to be that nice because we're gonna just paint them black. And these look good, and it wasn't vibrating too bad. So it's got the new thing on there. That's good. Yeah, I gotta get these off sometime, and we can get that. Make sure those are good. Because I've been told that these welds will break on the tank if you don't do it right, or if they're not. If this rubber piece goes out and it gets kind of hard mounted there, puts a lot of stress on those welds. I've heard, so let's make sure that doesn't happen. Tighten these ones down real quick. They're not supposed to be that tight from what I remember. I can't remember the exact torque spec, but it's pretty loose. It's not super tight, so we're not gonna crank down on them and ruin those isolators. So we don't want to crank down on them, just make sure they're tight. On the accidents. Cool. When I was riding around the island, I didn't feel any wobbles, but we'll have to get it up to speed to make sure there's no wobbles. But and we got the cotter pin in there. I'll show you what I'm talking about with this guy. I don't know, it wiggles a lot. I don't think, if I remember right, an oddball here. Yeah, this doesn't wiggle. So there's these little plastic tabs on the back that hold this into this kind of thing, and I bet you it's broken, because I noticed on here he put this nice little tab, this little button situation. So I know it's been opened before, but I might be able to fix it with a plastic welder. Maybe it's loose, I don't know. We'll do that later too. When we get back, take the filter off. Check that too. From what I can see, looks like it has enough breathing room. So for this test drive, just kind of worried about safety, and it passes my cursory glance. So We're still good on oil. You know, up top. Ugh. You know, we still got plenty of .5 in there. Doodle doot. So, yeah, let's take her for a ride, see what happens. Speaking of safety, I almost forgot. So, in transit or somewhere, it had 2 of these mirrors. And I think they were made by somebody in the group. I'm not quite sure who, but one fell off and is somewhere. So if you know anybody, this one is I believe this one's the right. If you know somebody who has a left, let me know. 'Cause yeah, I'm missing one. But for now, I've got these bad boys. El Cheapo Universal. We'll get them on there. Safety.
Do you need any gas?
No, I'm gonna have to pay.
Okay, we can fill it up right now if you want. How did it look and everything?
Fine. It does stink. Is that old gas?
Yeah, probably. And
But it almost has like an oily smell to it.
well, and the Super Tune has it run just a little bit of rich, and with the baffles in there, it's just all gonna come out.
True.
I don't know.
Did you get any slippage?
No. Nothing at all.
I mean, I saw you stomp on it,
Yeah, I don't know if it's I don't know when the slippage occurs, you know. So I'm gonna take it through a few heat cycles, give it another oil change, and then take it on some trips.
but yeah, I'll go out like what you did with Coop and just go to Escondido and then
Yeah.
on the 76.
Yeah. It definitely vibrates more. And I think it's because these were real tight. And I think they destroyed the isolators in there.
Got it. So like when you go higher speeds, it actually
No, when it's slow, it feels
got it.
very rigid. Cool. Well, you want to go home, Scrum? Or do you want to get ice cream? There's a little room in there. Huh?
Where do you want to get ice cream?
Did you just want to go to Albertsons?
Yeah, give me that.
Cool.
Now how's that what you noticed the whole time?
No.
Gotta put my lock on. It's called first gear.
Yeah.
So I wanted to do a quick initial update. We got the clutch put back in there. We did. So I got the clutch back in there. I've got the clutch flushed, filled, and we're ready to go. And I've taken it out, put about 40, 50 miles on it. And so far, so good. I've been doing, the first trip I did was 3 or 4 miles, just down the road and back. And then I went on a 10-mile trip, and then we just did a 20-mile. And so far, so good. So I will say that it is a little different, though. So I'm getting a glimmer that there may be something coming, and that's just from the clutch play being a little longer than when I started. It engages a little later when it warms up. On that 20-mile trip coming home, I was like, oh, it was getting a little later, but I couldn't get it to slip or anything. So, but yeah, so far so good. Let's get 100 miles on this, because tomorrow we're going to go on a 40-mile trip, and let's see what happens when it gets real hot, because it's supposed to be, fairly warm. So I'll let you know tomorrow. I won't let you know. It'll probably be it'll be a different thing. But yeah, we're real close, and it's running great. Remind me, I want to do these bushings. Seem like they're a little effed up. And I ordered some new ones of those. And let's take a look at this computer because it died on me a couple times coming to a stop, and I'm not convinced. And looking on the list on the registry, he doesn't have the Super Tune on there, and I'm not convinced it was done. So let's take a look at the computer, see if we see any writing on there, and see if we can't confirm visually that it's been done. I'm not sure they always did writing on there, but if Jamie did it, he had he would write it on there. So we'll find out, and yeah, let's do this.